Good morning. I'm Joel from P1 Industries, and this morning I'm sitting around the table with one graduate apprentice and two guys that are currently in the program. I started my apprenticeship journey actually 26 years ago.
Dang.
In 1997.
That's a long time.
Not bad.
I was born.
I'm the old man at the table today. So,
So.
my journey started at Fuse Manufacturing, and I was just a young guy and I didn't know crap. And I had some mentors that really took their time to show me what was going on. And I'd like you guys to talk a little bit about some of the mentors that you have and some of your experiences as a graduate apprentice, Nick, and two guys that are in their final years of apprenticeship. John, let's start with you.
Well, I think the mentors is the biggest thing that you need with the apprenticeship, because without mentors, you have nobody to learn from. And I think one person that really stands out is Benny, because he is nothing but a wealth of knowledge. And if you have a question, Benny will answer that question and then continue answering your question even after you already got the answer.
He'll bring you a 100-page packet on all the steps to do the thing you asked about.
Exactly. Even though you don't need it, that's what makes Benny great, because he gives you more knowledge than you need. So next time you don't always need to ask him a question.
Yeah,
you can just, you already have all the answers.
Right. And I think if you find a guy that's willing to give you that much information, that's a wealth of knowledge. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's perfect.
He helped me out a lot when I first started here, because I didn't know anything either.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's how all of we started out, not knowing how to do anything. And it just takes people that are willing to share their knowledge to get you to the next level. And that's what's exciting about apprenticeship to me.
exactly.
Definitely.
How about you, Andrew? Who's one mentor that really stands out for you?
Oh man. I started here on second shift, and the only person I really had on my shift was Jerry at the time, and he just kind of gave me like the P1 lowdown and like how it was. It's nice because I was in college when I started, or I just graduated college when I started here, so second shift worked out well for me. And just quickly I realized, like, just working in such a tight-knit shop that, like, I don't know, it was more of a family feel than anything. I don't feel like I got to come to work every day. I feel like I just got to make parts with my friends every day, which is cool. I'll take that,
sure. That's
you
for
know.
sure.
So there's no bad days really. So that's pretty much been my journey. I started here on second shift, went to Hudson Valley, and right now I'm in the New York apprenticeship program. Joel got us hooked up with that, so that's super exciting. I'm really amped about that.
It's important for me that you guys get through that program, because it's, you know, like a doctor might have his master's or whatever, and
Yeah, the journeyman is...
right. You guys have your papers, and that's
Right.
what proves that you're an expert in your field. You know.
I feel like it sets you apart a little bit, which is nice, you know, because you always want to strive to be the best. That's what makes you human, you know. So it's all, and that's another thing about this shop that I will say is you're never ever short on, like, you're never going to get bored. You're always going to learn something. If you want to be the best, or you want to be better, or you want to know how to do something, someone somewhere along the way will help you get there, you know.
Absolutely.
And everyone, I don't know, everyone's super tight knit, and it's just really cool working at a place that you're never going to be like left hanging, you know.
Yeah.
If one of your boys are struggling, you know, there's always people helping them, you know. So it's,
not only that, if you're struggling, you need to walk away for a minute to clear your head. You can always go and, like, just chit chat with somebody for a little bit, and maybe, like,
that's important too. Sometimes you just got to walk away.
yeah, for sure. If something's giving you a hard
If
time,
you get stuck in your head, just sometimes it gets worse.
yeah. So
things
to
go
work in a
wrong
good
quickly.
environment, be able to get away from what you're doing,
Yeah.
to, like, relax for a minute. helps
P1's
out a
kind of
ton.
unique because we work on a lot of products that see multiple work centers. So,
Yeah.
you know, you might work on a part, John, that goes to Andrew, and then Andrew's got work, and then I work on it. And as that part travels through the shop, it's got everybody's time in it. So you don't want to disrespect that person by screwing that part up and making them do it over, you know. So
And nobody ever leaves you
Right.
hanging in the
That's
fact
right.
that if, like, the material sucks, we're going to be like, here's this
Yeah.
job, have fun with the material, because it's going to suck. You know what I mean?
yeah.
yeah,
Which
we
is nice.
We
Love it.
try not to back each other into a corner, you know.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
sometimes it is what it is, but we do the best we can to help each other
Yeah,
out.
the
for
communication is great between everybody working on the project.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, and a lot of times there might be a feature that's not critical, but we may need to hold it critical for a future fixture or something. So
Right, like the dovetails on the
exactly,
lathe was
yeah.
amazing. That
right,
was
we do a little
great-
bit of pre-machining, which makes these guys their life a lot easier,
Mhm.
you know, for the lathe work. So it's and that's just something that we all kind of came up with collectively. So that was good.
It's the little stuff that makes a difference. You know, you can always, like, especially with machining, like, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Like, it's just how, you know, you can just do so much with it. You know, it's super cool.
Right. Nick, you've been quiet. Tell
no,
us about what you've been doing on the lathe with the Labby Seals.
Yeah, why'd you win your learning award?
So, like they said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So we've had this one way of doing it for years, and it's worked well. The only problem is, it takes a lot of time. One of the other guys mentioned something that he thought would be a different way of doing it and wanted to try it. Found out it worked really well, but it only worked on one of our machines. So I found a way to make it not only work on that one machine that he used and figured it out on, but to work across every machine in the shop on all lathes, and it significantly lowers time from hours down to minutes for some of the parts.
Yeah, that's great.
Big difference
Yeah.
on those big lathes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the
Forklift
parts
seems so much louder up here than it does down there.
yeah, we're getting some background noise, but we're in a shop. That's normal. Hopefully, we don't hear a crash.
Oh, yeah. That's
Hopefully
never
not.
good.
That's a bad day.
Bad Monday.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
I started off in the mill, so I kind of had one mentor for that, Lauren. I started off on the 5-axis milling machine, and he taught me all sorts of, not just normal milling, but how to go about learning the 5-axis, because you have so many more things you need to think about because of all the positioning and the simultaneous axes that you're moving at once. So he helped me really learn the milling and even some turning, because that machine does turning as well. I switched to a lathe a couple months ago, and the person I almost always go for help is Andrew. He's run large lathes for a long time, and he always has an answer to my questions every time. So it's normally who I ask for advice.
And believe me, Nick asks a lot of questions.
he
That's for
does
sure.
ask quite a few,
That's-
but he's a good kid, so.
That's an understatement.
But yeah, I don't know. It's nice, like, being able to help, you know, people out and training people and stuff. That's another thing that's, like, fun about this shop, that, you know, like, there are times where you get pulled off. If you're comfortable on a machine and they're hiring people, they'll pull you right off a machine, and you could, you know, you might be training for like a month or two, but like working with people and like getting a connection with people, and like, it's just fun, you know. It's another, like, sometimes, you know, you may not even be machining in this shop, but it's, you know, it's all machine oriented and it's fun. You know, I enjoy teaching people. I know some people don't, but it's fun working with people. It's, you know, easy to get to know people that way.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like finally a time where you can teach other people your tricks.
Yeah.
That's
spend
what
all the
machining
time.
is, just tricks. I mean, you can
It's
learn
all tricks.
speeds and feeds out of a book and everything, but
Yeah.
somebody's going to say, "Hey, don't try that because that's
And
not
it's-
going to work."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you
As
have
soon as
somebody
you get to
that's
some weird occasion, it's going to screw you if you just follow the book.
right,
It's
oh
all
yeah,
the tricks.
yeah. I mean, that's just like Ben says, it's a jump off point. It's not the gospel, right?
Mhm.
You gotta
Exactly.
you gotta
It's
try it
never
and then,
changing
and then
puzzle.
make adjustments from there.
It's a lot of trial and error, especially when you're new. Everything is trial and error. So
Yeah.
it's nice to, for me, it's fun to learn,
Sure.
and then it's more fun to pass that on because you could see like that light turn on
You
in
got
somebody
it.
else's head.
I think that's probably the most enjoyable part of the job for me, is just seeing you guys learn and
Mhm.
try your own things. And heck, I learn from you guys all the time. I mean, you know what's right and what's going to work, and then somebody tries something else and they're like, "Man, this works better," and you're like, "Oh man, I wish I thought of that."
Yeah, the dovetails, prime
I
example.
remember
know.
one time I was circling in a hole in the mills, and I went over to ask Joel if it should work, because I did all my math, just double check if it worked. It'd go, I think, like an 1.5-inch hole and a 3-inch hole, and about 3 minutes, and it was about 3 inches thick, and a plate of steel.
Yeah, he was taking way too much depth of cut, but it worked.
Sometimes
Some-
you gotta
Sometimes you get lucky, you know.
you gotta
but-
turn it up till it breaks, and then just turn it down a little
And
bit.
it was consistent, so, but yeah, I just turned it up until it sounded funny, and then turned it back down.
That's how you figure it out.
But at least you knew how it sounded, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you learned that, you know.
That's it.
Exactly.
You can only go off the book, I feel like, for so much, and I feel like it gets your foot in the door, like, you know, but I feel like there's no better way. It's just like race cars. It's all about seat time, you know. The more you spend behind that machine, you just get it dialed, and then slowly and surely it just becomes like muscle memory. You find yourself doing stuff and you don't even know what your fingers are doing, you know.
Yeah,
and
like
Once
writing
you
a
guess
program.
gain confidence, that's what it's all about.
It
It's
is
just having the
confidence.
confidence. You gotta,
Absolutely.
you know, spend the time in front of the machine. How nervous were you the first time you stand in front of a CNC? It's like you don't even know
Extremely.
what button
Very,
does what.
especially because the owner was standing next to me.
Here's the keys, Nick. Drive it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the. I feel like
Pretty much,
that's
honestly.
a huge curve. You know, like standing in front of there, like about to make your first part. Like truthfully, like I was like, I'm not gonna do this. Like no way. And you know, but then you slowly work up to it, and you just kill it, and it's fun.
I had that same feeling the first time I walked in a shop. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this.
This is
I
not for
felt
me.
like there was no way I could make a part.
That's what
there's
I
so
thought.
much that you have to do.
Exactly.
I
First
started
week,
at Hudson
here's
Valley in the mechanical engineering program.
Yeah.
And I really wasn't into it. And so after the first semester, I was like, I'm going to switch to something else. So I found advanced manufacturing on the list of courses at Hudson Valley.
Yeah.
Had no idea what it was. I got a list of tools, and I was like, I have to buy tools for this course. And then I went and sat down. And I was in a class with all GE guys, and the teacher started talking, and I was like, am I actually going to be able to do this? And then turns out that I just fell in love with it.
Right. So you went to school. You were paying for it out of your own
Yeah,
pocket. You
yeah,
weren't
it was out of my
sponsored by
pocket.
anybody.
Yeah.
And that's to me, that means a lot because you actually wanted to do that career.
Yeah.
But, you know, at P1 now, we're actually willing to pay for people to go to college. So that's a
that's
benefit.
awesome.
That's huge. That's awesome, and it's such. Like if you got the mechanical mindset and everything, it is such an awesome field. Like I know. Like, I went to school for automotive. I went to BOCES for that, and John did too.
Yeah, that's how we first met in high school.
He was a grade below me in high school, and we both, you know, quickly realized the automotive field, like, we wanted more, I guess. And, you know, if you can just adapt machining to the stuff that you're into, it's like now, you know, we can make parts that go onto cars and stuff, you know. So it's just like if you have the mechanical field, it's a great mechanical knowledge. It's a great field to get into for sure.
Oh yeah, it's untapped.
Yeah.
So John, when you started out with mechanical engineering, what changed your mind? Why didn't you want to stick with that?
I'm more of a hands-on kind of person. I definitely like to get my hands dirty and do the work. In mechanical engineering, it was really cool. I really liked the 3D modeling aspect of it.
Yeah.
And then with the manufacturing program, that was a larger portion of it. So I was like, I'll go and check this out. And then it turns out that it was a lot more hands-on, more lab time, which I really, really enjoyed. And just the people were cool. The teachers were awesome. And it was just, I had no idea what I had stumbled into, but I'm so glad that I did because now I'm here and absolutely love my job. It's great to come to work every day and make new stuff and test my knowledge, see what I can do.
We see a lot of different product lines, so it doesn't get boring.
That's for sure.
That's what makes
every day.
P1 so cool, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
It's never boring. You know.
Personally, I couldn't imagine like being in a shop that just made a certain product line every day.
Making the
That
same
would
thing every day,
be
I
so
like
dull and boring.
variety and
I like the
change.
same product line, but I keep myself sane by just making it go faster.
There you go.
Well, yeah, you've got a product line, but it's everyone's
different parts
Yeah.
of
You know,
that product line.
You're not making the same labby seal day in and day out. It's always different and it's always challenging. You know,
Yeah.
that's what keeps everybody.
That's
I
what
think,
makes
fresh.
it fun for sure. It's never even like the easy jobs. It's never
Oh,
easy.
yeah, when you get
Those are
into
the
a
ones you mess
job-
up.
I always
There's
like, you
there's
know?
the one tight dimension on the easy job. You pay attention to that, and everything else will be wrong.
That's right. You let your guard down.
It's nice to see
It'll
like
bite
those
ya.
legacy jobs come through. Like
Yeah.
I'm working on studs right now.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I see studs, I'm happy.
You always need like a job mixed in that's like something where you can vegetate and just be like, oh, thank God I know how to do this.
Yeah, you can relax for a little bit and just like get through that and then get back
Yeah.
into something difficult with a fresh mind.
That's what we do is we put hard jobs on the floor so you guys work like crazy on the legacy jobs. Avoid the hard job.
Yeah, yep.
It's like a decoy.
I'll tell you what though, it's like I feel like you start like making the legacy jobs. Like most people started doing that stuff, and now since you're doing all this tech stuff, stuff now. It's like those legacy jobs, you can just run with
I
your
know.
eyes
A
closed.
collector ring
you know?
used to be like, oh my god.
I know.
Yeah,
like,
now
you
it's
start
easy.
off
Yes, collector ring.
You start off doing the legacy jobs all the time, and then like, I want to do that hard job. It looks so cool, and then you're like, oh, I don't want to do this hard job. Just give me the collector ring.
Yeah, right.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. It's cool. I like it.
Another thing that sets P1 apart is we celebrate our values. And one way of doing that is we have an awards ceremony. And it's important to me that we celebrate those values. And a couple of our winners were actually apprentices this year. So, John, which award did you win?
I won the Integrity Award this time around this quarter. And it was just an honor to win that award because it shows that all the hard work that you put in doesn't go unnoticed. You know, so it's really nice to get that award, and it kind of gives you like a nice energy boost to work harder to get
Right.
the other awards.
Yeah.
You know,
And these awards are voted on by the employees, not by management or anything. So it's your peers that actually voted you in.
yeah, I kind of went around and bullied them a little bit to make sure they voted for me, but
I know Andrew voted like 10 times for himself, but
Yeah. It happens.
he won the Persistence Award.
Yeah.
yeah. There you go. Maybe we should add that one in there.
Oh, persistence. Yeah, that'd be good.
Mhm.
But no. So I won the humility award, and they would, like John said, it was an honor. It's super cool being nominated by all your friends at work, and I don't know. It definitely means a lot. I know this past quarter, my machine was super backed up, and I worked as hard as I could, and it was really cool seeing your friends around you notice that and vote for you, and it makes you feel good, and can't beat that. But Nick, what did you get?
I got the Learning Award. I talked about earlier what I got it for, just the improving those run times on those parts so significantly, but it's really nice to know that not just the guys I immediately work with, but everyone else in the shop, from the sales guys to engineering to all the other machinists, that it gets noticed throughout the shop, not just by the guys I work with.
Yeah, word spreads pretty quick.
It's a small shop.
Yeah.
That's one of the perks about P1. It's
Right.
pretty cool.
We've got two senior guys here, Jeff Roof and Fred Schultz, and they've both made comments that Nick's coming along pretty good and getting a lot quicker. So for two senior guys to realize that,
Yeah.
you should be
kinda
proud of
nice.
yourself.
He's definitely come a long way since
Oh,
he
yeah.
started here, for sure.
Oh yeah.
He was so timid when he started. He never would have done this when he started.
Right.
No way.
exactly.
Well, to be fair, I did get dragged over here.
True.
Farmers,
Yep.
they're tough. But
I'd rather be in a cornfield.
No, you wouldn't. Don't say that.
Or milking a cow.
Oh, no, not that.
John, is there anything that you would change at P1?
To be honest with you, the only thing I would change is air conditioning for the summertime.
That
Yeah,
would
that's
be
a good
nice.
point.
It gets hot.
We're trying to get the mist collectors going, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah, the mist
Oh,
collectors was
absolutely.
huge.
I mean, you
huge
can actually
difference.
see the other side of the building instead of just fog.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super nice.
Yeah, those
with
big
the air
chucks on the
quality.
lathes, they make a lot of mist.
they get smoky. But
Yeah, especially
You
when
don't
it's
have
out
to
in
hold
hard.
your breath to measure a part anymore.
no, I mean,
Absolutely.
it was all part of it, but it's definitely nice.
Yeah.
Now it's super fresh. They're doing good.
I would say legitimately one thing I would change is, to be honest with you, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head right now. Everything runs so smooth, and we have such a great team. Ryan is an awesome shop
Yeah.
guy, and
I'll
making
second
sure
that. I think with Ryan running production, it's definitely a lot
so
smoother.
smooth.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a lot
so
better than it used to be.
Even
Part-
when he's not here, like right now, he's on vacation right
Oh,
now,
yeah.
and I know
Right.
exactly what I need to do. He made sure I was all
Oh,
set
yeah,
up
yeah. Before he left, he had a list for everybody and a good
And,
idea
like,
of what to.
He listens to the machinist, so if someone tells him that's a really stupid idea, he'll actually listen to why it's a stupid idea.
Nick, you're so aggressive.
I know, right?
Mr.
Like,
Positivity
just-
over there.
But it's
Jeez.
nice, he actually listens.
Yeah,
it's
he's
definitely
a
nice
good
to be
guy.
heard.
Yeah.
Parts flow like there's no tomorrow too. Like I feel like you go to QC hallway at the end, like you're towards the end of the month. You're not going to be able to walk through there. There's so many parts. Like
Maybe that's one thing I would change is make quality a little bit more streamlined.
That's a tough job too, man.
Oh,
being in
yeah.
quality control because you got all the machines in the shop feeding one area,
Yeah.
and you got to
Absolutely.
double check all these numbers and just. I mean, you and I, when we're working on prints, we're focused on that one print. These guys
Right.
are seeing multiple prints come in, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always try to give them a heads up of what the tight dimension is, or if there's an issue somewhere, So
Just measuring the part is half the battle, It's like you gotta figure out what tool will work best most, because there's, just like everything else in machining, there's a million ways you can measure a part now,
Certainly.
So now, like, just find the most accurate way, and it's like John said, it's super important that these new guys like establish a feel, because I can't even really describe it much, but when you measure a part, there's a certain feel, and if you can get that feel every time and measure every part consistently, you always have a good part, So
you got it.
What about you? What would you change, Andrew?
like you said, it's kind of hard, like, put me on the spot like that. This place is really great, but I guess, like,
You want to go to a 2-day work week? And
yeah, if we can make 1-day work weeks, that would be great. No. So I think, like, what you guys are already putting into motion is really, like, the things I would pick. I would say, like, one, mist collectors, make the air a little better in here. That's a win.
Yeah.
But you guys have been rolling those out, so that's good. And just getting more of, like, the new machines, like multi-axis techie machines. We got really, like, a lot of smart guys here, and I think we could probably just do more. You know what I mean?
I would love a lathe with live tooling.
Yeah, like everybody's like, game to learn and stuff, and I feel like just like every other field, but right now it's like in manufacturing, it's like, I don't know, it's blowing up so quickly, and now, like, even like almost 10 years ago when I started machining, there was no multi-axis machines. You never really saw those around, and like now, there's. So I think if they just keep getting some awesome equipment in here, and that would be the move. That would be it.
John, is there one thing that you would never change about P1?
The atmosphere. The atmosphere is unmatched at this place, because it's just, you walk in, being that I went to Hudson Valley, I know several people that have worked at several different shops, and and you hear how things are at their shops, and how the atmosphere is, and they complain and stuff, and it's like, I really don't complain to my friends about where I work, because the atmosphere is just that great. One thing that, like, really stuck out to me when I first started here is Dave knew my name on day one.
Yeah.
He walked in, shook my hand, said, "Hey, how's it going, John?" And I was like, wow, you actually know my name. Which,
yeah, no, that's huge.
So from the start, it was just, the atmosphere was perfect. You just can't beat it. It's such a great place to work. So.
How about you, Andrew?
Oh man, honestly, I wish John didn't even say that, because I was going to say the same thing. Like, I don't know, you get the cutting metal is cutting metal. You can do that anywhere, but like, what really sets P1 apart is the environment. Like, I said it before, I'll say it again. It's like you come in and you make parts with your friends and you go home. Like, I genuinely feel like that's, what keeps keeps the guys here. It just feels like one big family, and, we look out for each other, and, like, I don't know, everyone, it's just, the environment is unmatched, and it is a really nice shop to work in. There's no doubt. What do you think, Nick?
Kind of the same thing. I mean, I look forward to every day that we eat lunch together and screw around with each other for half an hour. Every day we either go outside to our picnic table, or if we have bad weather outside, we get our folding table out of the corner and grab a bunch of office chairs we hid in various corners, and just all sit around and eat and mess with each other for a while. And that's
The Friday lunches too. Always gotta go big on the Friday lunch.
yeah, we always order food for Friday, and it's always a good thing to look forward to.
Occasionally we're joined by Dave, who pays for our lunch, which is nice.
That's a win.
That's why you always invite him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every so often. No, it's cool.
One thing I wouldn't change is I love seeing you guys grow basically into men. I mean, you start off as kids not knowing anything, wide-eyed, and you're like, holy crap, how am I going to do this? And then, I mean, you're working on some of the most complex parts that we build here, and I get very proud to see you guys do that. And then for you guys to win awards, to be noticed by the rest of the people in the company, I mean, it's my hat's off to you guys.
I appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank you.
man.